Another story that happened while we were out on operation. And I was carrying the machine gun. It was on the first trip, and it would have been one of our first operations. I think it may have been the second one we went out on. And we went into what they call a harbour position, where if you pull up for a bit of a spell, you sort of form a circle and keep an eye out, watching out, just to make sure that you've got somebody watching in every direction the whole time for enemy. Anyway, I sat down and I decided to make myself a cup of coffee. So I had a little hexamine stove. A hexamine is a solid fuel that doesn't give off any smoke. And I lit that, and I had probably about half an inch of water in the bottom of my mug, and I boiled it up, and I put coffee powder out of the ration pack into my coffee. I was just about to lift it off, and over went the coffee, and the mug went flying, and I heard a shot. So I dived over the top of where it was and in behind the gun. I had it up on this bank, and as I was going over, there was another shot, and I saw a flash in the tree out the front, probably about 35, 40 yards out. And I watched the spot in the tree where I'd seen the flash. But I saw the dirt fly up, and I was watching it for a couple of minutes to see if I could see any movement. And this lieutenant came along. He was a platoon commander from one of the rifle companies, and he had two sections of men with him, a section of 9 men. And he just said to me, he knew me, and he said, "Did you see where it came from, Berkey?" I said, "Yeah, that big tree out there." And the tree was very thick, but it was in a bit of a clearing with jungle all around it. And he just said to me, "Well, give it a good hit with a machine gun." He said, "And I'll take these guys round." He said, "And when we'll do a sweep across from the side, so when you see me come out of the bushes over on the left over there," he said, "stop firing." In other words, I was to give covering fire, which I proceeded to do. And I just crisscrossed up and down, sideways, etc., but mainly concentrated on the area where I'd seen the flash. There was our platoon commander, this lieutenant, was trying to pull me back down by the collar. He's telling me I did shield or something, but I know I elbowed him to get him out of the road because I had to keep doing what I was doing, and I had to be able to see. Anyway, that's part's not really much part of the story. I saw the lieutenant with the two sections come out of the jungle in the sweep across. So I took my finger off the trigger, and the gun kept running because of the heat of the barrel. I just had to reach out and snap the belt. only a couple more rounds went through, and it stopped. And they swept through. I was watching the whole thing, but as I say, I was only 30, 40 yards out, and I didn't hear any shooting, but I waited and watched, and it wasn't long, and the lieutenant came walking straight back past me, and two of his men were dragging this bloke behind them with a leg each, and they sort of went past me. I said, "You got him, sir?" And he said, "No, you got him." And I don't know what made me say it. It just came out. It was one of those things you say when you wish you could take back, but you can't. But I said, "That'll teach you to spill me coffee." Anyway, they went on, but as you can imagine, blokes used to make a bit of a joke of it, and they used to say, "You can do what you like, but to Berkey, but don't spill his coffee." And not until years later, near 30 years later, I was over at the clinic there, and a couple of the blokes that were there at the time were telling the other 20-odd blokes there that you can do anything you like to Berkey, but don't spill his coffee. It was a bit of a joke for a while until other things took place.